Hello, welcome to Die Rollin. I'm the ever excitable Adam, and do I have a treat for you? Well, I say treat for you, it's actually a treat for me because this is such a fun game and such a unique idea that actually this is more a treat for me because I get to play this. You guys get to watch me unbox it, but I get to play it. Obviously, if you're in the area and you'd like to play this, then get in touch and I'll try and sort this out. But okay, so what we have here is Pericle, Gathering Darkness. This is by Long Dog Games, and this I'll start this off by just saying, if you are after a role-playing game, but you don't have a GM, or if you're a forever GM and you want to play a role-playing game, but there's nobody who is, who's willing to run this, run a kind of D&D session or any other role-playing session, this is what you have been waiting for, my friends. Pericle Gathering Darkness is a fantasy role-playing game where you are using a web-based app, I guess, to play a role-playing game. You're going to be creating characters or use the characters that are provided within this box, and you're going to be going on I think they say 100+ hour adventure with choices and combat and, peril, I guess. This is the first game they've done using their kind of system, their lore teller, I think it's called. But if people really enjoy this, then I imagine they're going to just keep releasing more content for this. Is it Lore Master? I don't know. I'm going to keep going back over it. It'll probably say in here when we get to it. But yeah, you are going to need a tablet or a laptop to play this with because you cannot get the. There's not like an app version on the phone at the moment. But what you'll basically do is you'll go to their website, you will log on, and you'll be playing through a browser. So you will need an internet connection for this. But yeah, this is perfect for gathering, not darkness, but people around your table to play. And you know what? You can play this solo. And I've played this solo. And I put everything back so I can unbox this. I have already unboxed this myself. But yeah, here we go. I'm going to unbox this now for you guys. So, first of all, fantastic art on the front. The art in this game is pretty great. Nothing on the inside there. So, what do we have? So, we've got a rulebook. Now, the rulebook is a bit shiny. It does go through all the details you need. But as you play the game, it kind of teaches you as you go through as well, which is pretty good. I would recommend that, although I did say you don't need a GM for this game, if you are playing this game, somebody needs to know the rules. The lore master, it doesn't tell you everything that you're going to have to do. You are going to have to be keeping track of stuff yourself. So yes, someone has to read this entire rulebook. It is not that onerous, if I'm honest. It's fairly straightforward and it's in really easy kind of easy explanations. You've got pictures in here as well to help you out with stuff. So yes. The trickiest thing in here is combat. You just have to get over. Once you understand how combat works, that's the hardest thing in this game, and the combat isn't that tricky. There's a whole thing about embattlement and grappling and actions you can do when you're embattled and when you're not embattled. So yeah, you do have to understand that. But I'll be honest, pretty much anybody who's played a tabletop role-playing game will be able to pick this up. And if you played a board game, it's not going to be too much of a stretch for you to understand the rules in this. But someone does have to read this book in its entirety, which, how many pages we're looking at? 39 pages, which honestly, it's not that onerous. It's fine. So we then also have the hero handbook. Now this goes into more details about the playing characters. Someone will also have to know this as well. Now, the good thing is you don't have to read all of this, but it does go into, there's appendixes in here which tell you more about your character stuff. You've got character creation in the very front of this, which is only a couple of pages really. So you've got your determine your attributes, select your ancestry, a couple of different options there. Determine your starting XP, select your weapons, and they go into the tables there. Choose your disciplines, you learn your spells, hit points, base, AD, movement and initiative, standees and heroes backstories, and then you've got your appendices in here, which you've got quite a few which go through the different options you have in the game. And also at the very back, we've got all the kind of pricing for stuff as well, which is really helpful when you're going for buying stuff. So 2 books you have to read through before you can really delve into this. Custom dice. We're called Die Rollin, and we do like rolling dice. Well, most of us like rolling dice on the channel, but we got some lovely custom dice here. This is what you're going to be using for all of your kind of skill rolls. You're going to be wanting to get these kind of target signs. You don't want to get the cross target, that's a critical fail. There is a critical success on here as well. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got defense dice in here as well. You've got these gnarly kind of D4s. And this kind of magic dice, I believe, or extra damage dice. I can't remember what that does because I've not gotten to that yet. But yeah, so some lovely custom dice there. Okay, standees. Now that happened because I've already opened this and I didn't seal it up properly. But yes, you get an absolute plethora of standees in this, and really nice as well. So you take a look at this guy. All of them are like double-sided. To begin with, they have got this kind of film over, so you do have to peel off the film off of all of these characters. But yeah, you've got so many cool options in this game. It lends itself well to kind of creating your own adventures in this as well. If you play D&D as well, you might already have standees, or you could actually incorporate these in your other games. But yeah, you've got so many standees in this, it's fantastic. Wish that hadn't exploded on me, but there we go. And there's one of our hero characters there. In here you have your stands as well, so you're basically putting these acrylic standees into those stands. And these stands are very easy to get them into, to be fair. Just try not to force them, because, you know, whenever you have something like this, sometimes it can be a bit tight to get them in there. But actually, I found these fairly easy to get into. The first time I saw acrylic standees was in Mytholix, and they did a really fantastic job with the artwork. And if I'm honest, I really actually quite enjoy standees in games, especially acrylic ones. They just look so good. Damnation, the Gothic game as well, which we did an unboxing for on our channel, and you'll see some gameplay of that soon. That also has acrylic standees, and they look beautiful. So I'm always up for games which have acrylic standees. Okay, so we have some envelopes in here which you'll open during the course of your campaign for this. And what do we have here? Well, we've got various different characters. Now, what's really interesting about this with the pre-made characters, you get 3 different character sheets with this. So you get your initial character sheet, which the game will instruct you to play with to begin with. And this is where you don't really have abilities to worry about. You just have very basic stuff. The tutorial for this game takes you through combat in a kind of an arena. And yeah, you're not going to need much of this information for this, just knowing what fighting is really. And then once you finish that initial tutorial, you'll be given an updated version of the character sheet where you've got some spells for this particular character. And he's got a shield as well, which is interesting. And you've also got all these different bonuses and things here as well, which is interesting. And then finally, you have your fully in-color character sheet here as well, which has even more information in there. So yeah, you can create your own characters in this, but I think for the first playthrough, or if you're learning the game, it's a good idea just to actually start with one of these kind of characters. So you have Sindaro, the Odrim Summoner. You have Beowulf, the Elf Wizard. You have Varya, the Human Sword and Shield. Amira, the Everkin Archer. Galan the Great, the Human Spearman. Vidar, the Dwarf Spell Strike. Now, you also have some information about what you can do. So these are your player aids, which is fantastic. Hidden away in here, they could easily be missed, if I'm honest. But yeah, these are fantastic. They really go through a bit more information, so you have them for easy reference. Then you have some beautiful Pericle character sheets in here. Absolutely loads of them as well. They're they're not double-sided. You've got your items and stuff on one side and then on the other. So yeah, you can create your own character. They've given you everything you need in the box to actually start with, which is fantastic. Now the rest of the box is your map tiles, your battle maps. So some of them are just single ones. Other ones, like this first arena one, you will basically combine together. And really nice artwork on these. And also double-sided. So yeah, I'm going to go through these. We'll have a look at them. But hopefully not spoil it for anybody. So we've got these two, which will obviously match up there. And then we've got like this kind of storehouse or something. Oh, lots of dead bodies there. Yeah, spoilers maybe, guys. Then we've got this over here. Nothing on the back of that one. Good old town. We got some single ones. Oh, it didn't go on the back of that one. Back of that one has got a really cool ship battle. So do you know what? Even if once you've finished Pericle, if you are a DM yourself, then there is so many these tiles you could repurpose for anything else, which is fantastic. So these are really good little battle maps they've got here. Looks like we're going to be sailing on the seas a few times in this campaign, really exploring the lands. And that's it. That's everything you inside the base game for this. Now, this was all sent to me as a review copy, and we also got some additional bonus things here sent to us. So there are some additional things you can get for this game. I think there's some more that I don't have here. For instance, you get extra dice for one of the things. We have some health trackers in here. Now, the app actually tracks the health for all the villains in this, as far as I've seen so far. But you've got a little bag in there. You've got all your hit point things. Then you've got your player things. Now, this is really helpful because for in the base game, you don't get anything to track your hit points. You're basically just rubbing them out and putting it onto your character sheet. Whereas in here, you've got hit points and exhaustion. So you can basically put your hit points in here and take them out when you get damage, or move them into exhaustion when you're exhausted with stuff. But yeah, you get a bunch of these different things here. So I guess, like I say, they actually track the health in the app. So I'm not quite sure why you would use these, but you do have the option to use those if you so wish. If you go on the base game, you also have these little black cubes as well. Not quite sure what they're for. Right, let's go on to the magic item compendium. So within the page are a collection of magical artifacts with descriptions of the usage, properties, prices, and more. Learn to use gemstones to enhance mundane or magical items as you discover the ancient art of imbuing magic, purchasing life-saving potions and salves from alchemists and healers. Discover trinkets and jewelry that hold surprising wonders within. Become familiar with weapons and abilities that will aid you in your quest across the lands of Pericle. So it looks like you've got some new options in here. Optional for shopping. So yeah, you basically got some magical items in here, which is pretty cool. So it just gives you some more options for your game. So yeah, you can pick that up, which will expand your game. We've got Pericle spells and Pericle disciplines as well. So what you get here is basically a bunch of cards that you can use instead of having to keep referring back to the rulebook. So it tells you how you can read stuff in here, what each of these things are, and then the actual spells themselves, which is really helpful because, yeah, you can have these on the table and just use these to remind you of what you're actually doing rather than having to keep looking at your rulebook and maybe having to look into, really look into those details in the rulebook. You've got a handy kind of reference right there. So that's really helpful. If you've got spells, you're going to be using lots of spells in this. This is pretty helpful, to be fair. Anything where you can assist players with speeding up game, especially like role-playing games, then that is a fantastic boon in my mind. Like I say, these don't come with the base game. These are additional extras you can pick up. And then we've got disciplines as well. So disciplines box, you've got the exact same thing, but they talk about disciplines instead. So it's the same kind of thing. Instead of like spells, it goes through the actual disciplines each character will be using, which, yeah, like I say, even if you don't have magic users, that's very helpful. One of the things I find with role-playing games is, you get these really cool abilities, and not just role-playing games like Shadows of Brimstone, you get these really cool abilities, but you don't have enough room on the sheet to write them. So having something like this is really helpful, where you can just be like, I've got a polearm trip. What does it do? Well, this is what it does. That's all the prerequisites and stuff like that. So yeah, really helpful having that kind of thing in there. So that's everything we've currently got for Pericle. Now, if you guys want to watch just a solo version of this, let me know. But if you'd prefer I play this with 2 other people or even 3 other people, let me know in the comments below as well, because I'm in an RM whether I just hit the table running with this and show off this game with just me controlling 3 characters. Now, it's worth noting you do have to have at least three characters you're playing with. That's how the game is balanced. So if you are looking at a solo game for this, if that's why you're watching this video, like, I really want to play a solo game, a solo role-playing game, you will have to be running 3 characters or 4 characters if you like. So just be aware there might be a few things you're going to have to keep track of rather than just having the 1 character soloing the entire thing. But yeah, if you would like to see me playing this with a bunch of people, then let me know and I will organize that, and we'll be giving you some Pericle coverage on here. That's about it really, guys. If you're interested in this, then go check out Long Dog Games and get yourself your own copy of Pericle. But if you'd like to see us getting our way through this game, then stay tuned to the channel, because we will be bringing this in the not too distant future. I've been the ever excitable Adam. Until next time, stay safe or die rolling.